podcast is particularly not for entertainment purposes, and the views expressed by the host of this podcast are opinion-based. However, they do not come without facts, research, statistics, and truth, whether other people like it or not, and no matter how harsh or complicated it may be. This is the Michigan Sports Truth, and nothing can ever stop it from being correct.
And welcome to a special edition of the Michigan Sports Truth podcast on Spreaker. This is called Frank's Follow-Up Special. I'm Taylor Phillips, along with Frank Vajcner. Frank Vajcner just has a beef with what he heard from Rob Parker on his takes on Matthew Stafford's contract extension agreement with the Detroit Lions. It was $135 million for 5 years, including $92 million guaranteed and a $50 million signing bonus. Now, Frank Vajcner is on Twitter at Frank_Vajcner, Vajcner, and he's also the co-host of Toledo's own WXUT 88.3 FM's After Further Review, located at the University of Toledo, a student-run station. So, Frank, you have to be wolfed out from the PA announcing job at the Dundee game.
Yeah, it was actually the first time I was behind the mic for football, but enough about that. Let's get to the meat and potatoes of this right now. First off, I just want to say, I think Quinn made a great move getting Stafford re-signed for the term and money. Because, people are bitching about $27 million a year. And I say, look, he's getting paid less than what Kirk Cousins is making this year alone, less than $30 million. So for that, you gotta give Bob Quinn credit where credit's due here. Here, you got him re-signed. You're not paying him north of $30 million a year, and that's that. And you got him signed for another 5 years. And the people who bitching and moaning, saying, "Oh well, he's never won a playoff game." My good friend of mine, a good friend of mine, Anthony Bellino, who is the host of the Morning Blitz on AM 1230 WCWA out of Toledo. I took to his Instagram and said that quarterbacks like Stafford don't hit the open market. Show me where you're going to find somebody like that hitting the free agent market. And people are going to say, "Oh, well, Peyton Manning was coming off of a severe neck injury. In his career, it almost ended his career, but the Broncos took a flyer on him, and it actually paid off as he did bring him a Lombardi trophy." And then he'll say, Drew Brees, again, severe shoulder injury, threatened his career. And of course, it came down to him signing with the Saints and the Dolphins, and Dolphins wanted to have him run through a battery of tests, but the Saints said, "You know what? We have faith that your shoulder's fixed, so here you go." And then, a lot of it was just people need to be better informed. But then I heard somebody call into Mike Valenti's show on 97 on the Ticket in Detroit and saying, "Oh, they shouldn't have paid Stafford that much. They should just let him go and just draft a quarterback and keep doing that. You just build up the team on the offensive and defensive lines. Do like Denver." Look, that's probably the first dumb thing I heard. Saying that you want to build up the O-line and D-line and thinking that it's actually going to win you shit, you're stupid. Denver, right now, after Peyton Manning retired, they drafted Paxton Lynch. Paxton Lynch is on the verge of getting cut. He wasn't the answer. And they had Trevor Siemian, and I don't see Trevor Siemian anywhere near the top of the league. Do you?
Nope.
Exactly. And also, if you keep thinking you're going to just draft quarterback after quarterback after quarterback until you somehow magically hit the right one, you're just going to be what the New York Jets are right now, having no quarterback and thinking, oh, we're going to win with great defense. Look, people say defense wins championships. I mean, yeah, I'm guilty of saying that. But I don't think that's the case in today's NFL. The NFL is a quarterback league. Anybody who watches it should know this. If you don't have a great quarterback, you're not going to win. And people are going to point to, and I'll say teams like the 2000 Baltimore Ravens, they're the exception, not the rule. I mean, yeah, you might have one of those teams pop up once in a great while, but it only happens like once every 16 years. But still, you need a quarterback. If you don't have a quarterback, you're not winning a fucking thing. And that's what gets me to my next point about Rob Parker. The same Rob Parker who once was in Detroit, whom I remember from being on Clubhouse Confidential on Sports Final Edition on Channel 4 back in the day. And he said some crazy shit back then. But on Colin Cowherd's show on Fox Sports 1, he said that the Lions shouldn't have paid him because, he's 5-46 against teams with an above 500 record, or he hasn't won a playoff game. Okay, I understand he hasn't won a playoff game. But look at some of those playoff games he's played in. First one, against the Saints in 2011. Was it entirely his fault that the Lions lost that game?
No.
Exactly. Look, I'm not saying Stafford is blameless. He is not without blame. But it's not his fault that the Lions never forced a punt in that game. Last I checked, he didn't play on both sides of the ball. Also, going into Seattle last season, had a broken finger, and not too many teams can go into Seattle and win. In fact, I don't even remember the last time the Seahawks even lost a playoff game on their home field, for fuck's sake. And people will even point to that Dallas game, too. Now, granted, some of that falls more on him for not being able to drive him down the field in the final 2 minutes. But again, and football is a team sport. Everybody has to contribute in the wins and losses. Stafford can't do it all on his own. Hell, not even Tom Brady can do it all on his own. I mean, yeah, he led the greatest comeback in Super Bowl history, but was he going all Michael Vick or Vince Young and running for his life and scoring touchdowns by running into the end zone? No, he wasn't. And then Parker said probably the dumbest piece of shit I'm ever going to hear is that the Lions should have signed Colin Kaepernick. Let that sink in.
What?
Colin Kaepernick.
Are you kidding me with this?
The same Colin Kaepernick, who, mind you, has been in the spotlight for not some good reasons, because of his political views and him not standing during the anthem and all this and that and the other, all this bullshit. And I'll admit, I've advocated for Colin Kaepernick to have a job in the NFL as a backup, not as a starter. And Parker's argument is Colin Kaepernick got to a Super Bowl? Kaepernick had Jim fucking Harbaugh as his coach. And plus, he didn't even play that whole season. He came in when Alex Smith had a concussion. I just don't get why people are so, like, guys like Parker are riding on the Kaepernick train thinking, oh, he got him to a Super Bowl, he's better. He had a couple of great games in the playoffs. I'm not taking that away from him. And then they might point to, well, he got up to an NFC title game against the Seahawks. Again, his coach was James Joseph Harbaugh. And a well-coached team around him. And now that Harbaugh's not in San Francisco anymore, look what happened. Harbaugh effect.
Yeah, because Harbaugh was is now in Michigan signing an 8-year deal to become the head coach of the Wolverines.
Yeah. Exactly. Hey, and look, it all goes back to what I said. Where are you going to find a quarterback who's in the top 10 in passing yards and a bunch of other stats on the open market? You're not going to find it. Like my friend Anthony said, Stafford is a unicorn. You don't see no damn unicorn anywhere. You just don't. Nobody's going to let a QB of that caliber hit free agency. And if you do, then your GM is dumber than a box of rocks and probably needs to get his head checked. See Washington Redskins and Kirk Cousins. Because Cousins is probably going to get a deal worth $30 million a year, especially after he got franchise tagged twice. And this is, again, where credit is due to Bob Quinn. Never had to use the franchise tag on Stafford and kept the money below $30 million a year. That's why I think it's a great deal.
Oh, it is a great deal. $135 million, 5 years, $92 million guaranteed, and a $50 million signing bonus.
Yeah, and people are saying, well, people saying he's the highest paid quarterback. He's the highest paid player so far. He won't be in a couple of years when Aaron Rodgers is going to be doing a new deal, when Jameis Winston and Marcus Mariota are going to be due for new deals. I think you're going to see guys like Rodgers, Mariota, Winston. They're going to get north of $30 million a year. And Kirk Cousins, he'll get north of $30 million. Hell, maybe a couple of those guys could get close to $40 million a year.
True.
I mean, the NFL is a quarterback league. If you don't have a quarterback, you're not winning a fucking thing.
Right.
I just don't get why that's so hard for people to understand. But again, they must all like living in the past and in the days of when the Pittsburgh Steelers had the steel curtain, thinking, "Oh, that's gonna help you win a Super Bowl." Yeah, stuff like that. It might help you. It'll contribute, but it's not going to be the sole reason you win a championship. If you win, if you have an average to below average QB, you're not winning jack shit. And to me, Stafford, at worst, is an adequate QB. Now that he's had Jim Bob Cooter as his coordinator, he's really started to show what he can do. And granted, the Lions still got issues, but again, the Stafford issue, that's taken care of. it's not dragging out into this season and into next off season, hanging over the team. That's one less thing they got to worry about. And then now they can focus on taking care of business on the field.
Yep, and they got to earn it too.
Absolutely. Hey, but but not having that cloud hang over you, that's just gonna make life easier.
Right. And we remember Rob Parker being an on-air town on Detroit Sports 105.1, and Rob Parker was always the same. He has never changed. Rob Parker was always terrible. And we remember Rob Parker tried to kill Jeff Moss after they were on their way out of that 97 won the ticket event at some bar where they handed Scott the virginal manatee whale Anderson of 97.1 a sex doll along with the DSL worst medium personality.
Oh yeah,
worst Detroit sports media personality.
I remember Moss was saying something about how Parker tried to run him down, and I guess that was why. The dude's a fucking nut job. I mean, and how he's gone from just being a local sports talk radio guy to now going national is beyond me. I mean, there's a saying: it's not who you know, it's who you blow. And there's probably been some ass kissing on Rob Parker's end.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And false criticism. Don't forget, Rob Parker falsely criticized Bob Quinn signing Stafford to that contract extension.
Yeah.
And that's why we're here to rip him apart, just like Ed Smith did this morning.
Yeah. I'm going to have to give that a listen a little bit later, as I've been pretty busy these last few days.
I'll post it on your timeline.
Alrighty, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. It is now posted.
Alrighty, I got it. I'll make sure to give that a listen tomorrow in between work and my football game.
Mm-hmm. All right. Just get some rest. Thanks for joining me here tonight on Frank's follow-up special. Hope to talk to you sometime next week. And this is what we should do from now on. The follow-up special with you and maybe Buck Gino to join in, possibly at 10 p.m.
Yeah, I agree with you on there. Just because it's football season and all our schedules are just so batshit crazy. Because I know you got games to call on the radio. Buck's got games to call on the radio. I got games where I'm having to do public address at, and also I'll have to serve as the director of social media. And we're all busy guys, so we'll find time to all get together and talk about what happened. And in the sporting world, at least in this state, it's tough to come by. But hey, I appreciate you being able to squeeze me in tonight.
Oh yeah, I would never forget about you guys, ever.
Much appreciated.
All right. Well, before we sign off, let me see here. We want to remind everyone to share this episode and our entire podcast on social media and have their friends share that as well, because we want to tell them that the Michigan Sports Truth Podcast organization is boosting its posts on its Facebook page and searching searching for local advertising sponsors. If anyone has a business that's interested in sponsoring this program, send our Facebook page a message. I'm Taylor Phillips. Follow me on Twitter at DT2Phillips and Frank Vajcner at Frank_Vajcner. Like and share the Michigan Sports Truth Facebook page and join its Facebook group. I will be back tomorrow on Talk Shoe with a post-game after CMU takes on Rhode Island at Kelly Short Stadium Thursday night at 7. That is tomorrow. Till then, thanks very much for listening and downloading and sharing. TTFN, ta-ta for now.
Buon appetito.